I built the shop hangar in 1989, and I built it with a 12 by 40 foot door, and I started out I built the door by hand, and then I changed it over to make it so it's electrically operated, and in 2009 I made that change, and I'm using a Freight Harbor 1600, what is it, 1650, 1300 pound spur winch, and it works really good. Okay, now I'll open the door. Little side doors. I made all my hardware myself. That's 2" by 1/4" steel, and then I heat it with a acetylene, and then I welded the stuff up with an electric welder. And that's how the door latches work. I have to make sure that the door breaks over a little bit so it can lift it. Then I've got a control switch up here, and you push it up and it raises it. And I do this sometimes, just almost every day, and I have very little trouble with it. It works really good. I have to work on it some, but most of the time it just works like it's supposed to. These are counterbalance weights, and right now the door is up and they're down, and then they pull the cables and help lift the door. These cables are for that weight over there, and then that weight has cables that are over there, and they're just garage pulleys. And then it's 3/16 cable. And then the cables go over to the tumbling rod. And right now the weights are down and the door is up. Now here's the motor that I used to raise the door with, and I've got I think it's a 10-tooth sprocket on the shaft, and what it has, when I took the drum off for the cable, it has I'm thinking it's an 18 millimeter hex, and so I put I think it's a 10-2 sprocket here, and I think this one's like 28 or almost 32 sprocket here, and then when that turns, it turns this tumbling rod, and I made the bearings. I just used 4x4s and made the bearings out of 4x4s, and I got this 2-inch tubing from the salvage yard, and then I put splices in where it needs a splice, and I welded the sprocket to this center tube, and it's a little, well, I guess it's the same size, and they're just, those splices are there. And then what I do, I have the switch downstairs that controls it, and I move the little box that controls everything. I moved it out here, and then I spliced the wires for the pendant control to the wires that go to the switch on the wall. It's real easy to do, and so now I've got a switch up here that I can operate it with, and one downstairs. Now here's the control that I have up here. Okay, now it's lowering the door. And then you can see over there as the door is going down, the weights are going up. And this has been, I've been using this, I use it several times a day, every day since 2009, and I've had no trouble at all with the motor and the chain and the sprockets. I have to do some work on the cables fairly often. They go out here. You can see where the cables go out here, and they're holding the door up. They're tight as heck, and then the cable is holding the box, and they're balancing each other. But anyway, that's the way I got this thing to work with I think it says on it, Chicago. Like I say, I bought this in 2009, and I use it almost every day. So anyway, that's the name of that story. Okay, I closed the door part way while I was upstairs. Now I'll just finish lowering it. Then we don't go all the way down with it, then you can pull the And now I have the door latch back down. With the wind blowing like it is, I couldn't pull it in with one hand. I had to use two hands. So. But anyway, you get the point.